All right, guys, welcome back to the channel Red SS. And to all those that keep telling the world that the Chevrolet SS was a complete failure, I'm here to talk about why it probably really was not. First of all, shout out to Doug DeMuro for giving a great review of the Chevrolet SS in one of his more recent videos, where he had that clickbait tagline saying this was a failure of a car. But when you watch the video, he actually loved the car. By the way, the hood vents do work, just for the record. One or two of the slots are actually there to let some of the heat out of the engine bay. They are technically functional. I wanted to share what I believe, in my opinion, 3 reasons why the Chevrolet SS really wasn't a failure. First, no indications of a business growth plan. Number 2, there was no marketing plan to even sell the car. You got to market something to sell it. The third reason, GM Chevy sold almost every single SS they imported to the United States. Almost every single one. Or how is that a failure? So let's break it down. The 3 reasons. The first reason I mentioned, there was really no business growth plan for this this model car. GM Chevy probably did not intend to or plan to sell many of them. So it's not like they really cared to put a lot of work behind this, right? That leads me to the second reason. They didn't market this car. Advertising campaigns? Close to none. When was the last time you saw an ad or commercial for this car? If there was one, please share. Put it in the comments below. But they did little to no advertising around it. Yeah, at most, maybe it was the nameplate on the Chevy NASCAR team's cars. It was a pace car in the NASCAR series in the US. However, still, people didn't really know what this car was. Heck, even some dealerships struggled to identify this model. Most customers to this day, never knew this car existed. The third reason that I'm thinking that it wasn't a real failure is they sold almost every single one they imported to the United States. A little more than 12,000 units, 95% or more of its inventory sold. That's with no real business growth plan that I'm aware of, that I can see or heard about. That's with no marketing or advertising. I got on autotrader.com in the DC area within 75 miles, not one brand new Chevy SS. If you just look at the numbers, and come on, this is business we're talking, and it all comes down to the results. Chevy sold every single one, had very little marketing, advertising overhead, and met the obligation to Holden, where this car, who made this car in Australia, to import so many thousand units. I think it was just, I don't know what the facts are, but I'm connecting the dots. It sounds like this General Motors just imported 10,000, 12,000 units or more just to satisfy maybe a contractual obligation for inventory purposes to keep Holden operational until its planned shutdown of Australian car manufacturing altogether. How is that really a failure based on what they were trying to accomplish and the resources they put into it and the fact that they sold almost every single one? Do the math, right? Sure, the perception is, but the Chargers or Challengers or whatever, they sold 88,000 units. Well, that's because they put a business plan for those cars in action. They put a marketing plan for those cars in action. And all the resources needed to sell cars was put into action. The plans put into action for the Chevy SS weren't on the same scale. Never was intended to be. But they met their goal. It sounds like it. They sold everything they had intended to sell, which was not very many, and to me, this car was not a failure. Maybe not a commercial success, but far from a failure when you look at the numbers, right? Let me know your thoughts. Do you think this car was really a failure if you just look at the numbers? And based on the goal of Chevy and GM, did they meet their goal? If I'm assuming that they didn't intend to sell any, but wanted to sell just a few thousand, then yeah, they met their goal and it was a success. Was it a commercial success? No, probably not. Not by, you know, competitor standards. So this is a very special, very rare car. And I'm so proud to have one. This is so awesome. I love this thing. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And take care. Drive safe.